All right, guys. So we yesterday we finished section 10.6. We're gonna move on with section 10.7 today. Area of a circle. I hope everybody survived the storms okay last night. The winds were crazy. Some of the trees in my yard looked like they were almost all the way down, touching the ground. It was crazy. All right. So area of a circle. It's a pretty simple formula. Area equals pi times r squared. Remember, r stands for radius. All right, so go back to day one of when we first started the circle stuff. And remember, if they give you the radius and you need to find the diameter for some reason, you just double it, multiply it by 2. And if they give you the diameter and you need to find the radius, which is going to be what we're going to be looking at on this section, then you take half of it. And then don't forget that we can replace pi with 3.14. And then remember, your radius goes from the center out to the circle. All right, so we're just going to do 3 quick examples of how to find the area depending on whether you have a radius or a diameter or not. So number 1, if you look at my picture, this is going from the center out. So 10 is my radius. So I don't have to do anything to find my radius. I already have it. So I'm just going to come back over here to my formula. A equals pi r squared. I don't know if you guys ever heard that math joke. When someone says pi r squared, you say no, pi r round. A little corny joke. All right, so I'm going to replace pi with 3.14. I'm going to replace my r with 10. Notice I did put both of them in parentheses. Don't forget your little squared up there. And then all you have to do is order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I remember, we get confused sometimes on this. So there are parentheses, but there's nothing to do inside of the parentheses. So I skipped to exponents, which I do have exponents. So I'm going to do 10 squared, 10 times 10, which is 100. And then I just multiply those two together and I get 314. And then their unit was in inches. And anytime you find the area of something, it's always squared. So inches squared. All right, on number 2, on my diagram on this one, I have the line that is going all the way through the circle and it passes through the center. So this is a diameter, which equals 30 feet. So that means that I need to find the radius first before I can plug it into my formula. So if I know my diameter is 30, and I know I can take half of that diameter to get my radius, then I just take half of 30, which is 15, and 15 is now my radius. And now I just do the exact same thing I did on number 1, and I'm going to take the 15, plug it back in my formula for the r. So remember, pi is 3.14, r is now 15. And then again, do order of operations. First, I'm going to do 15 squared, which is 225. And then I'm going to take 225 times 3.14, which is 706.5 feet squared this time. All right, and then last problem. All right, this time the directions say, we're still finding the area, but the directions say leave your answer in terms of pi. And all that means is that instead of replacing pi with 3.14, we just leave it as pi, which I can already see I wrote my answer wrong, so I'll fix it in a second. All right, so if I look at my diagram over here, I do have a radius. It's going from the center out, so I already know my radius is 4.5. All right, so I'm going to leave pi as just the symbol. I'm not going to replace it this time because it says leave it in terms of pi. I'm going to replace r with 4.5. And then all I have to do on this one is just take 4.5 squared. That's the only math I have to do, which turns into 20.25. And then your final answer, let me fix it real quick, should be A equals 20.25, and then just the pi symbol, and then we're in meters this time, meters squared. So that's all you have to do on that one. All right, so that's all I'm going to do on this section, and I'm not going to give you an assignment. We can only give you 11 total assignments over this 21-day e-learning period, so I kind of have to space them out a little bit. So if you're still working on the other 2 quizzes assignments, then you can use this extra time to finish those up. Make sure you go to the attendance quizzes, though. You do have that for the day, and check in with me. And then if you're having any trouble with anything, just let me know, whether it's with my class or any of your other classes. If you're needing materials that you left at school, maybe we can make arrangements for you to somehow come up and get them, or whatever, okay? But no new assignment today. Continue working on the other 2, and then check back in tomorrow.